Imagine this. A literary legend, one of America's most brilliant minds, found delirious in the gutter, clad in ill-fitting clothes, muttering incoherently before succumbing to a cryptic demise. This isn't a scene from one of his macabre tales. This is the chilling, real-life mystery surrounding the death of Edgar Allan Poe. What truly happened to the master of the macabre in those final, bewildering days of October 1849? His end remains as enigmatic as his darkest stories, a puzzle with missing pieces and shadows lurking in every corner. Poe had spent the summer in Richmond, seemingly recovering from illness, and even contemplating a new magazine venture and remarriage. He departed on September 27th, bound for New York City, full of plans. But then, silence. A week passed with no reliable trace of him until a printer named Joseph W. Walker stumbled upon him in Baltimore on October 3rd at a place called Ryan's Tavern, which was also serving as a polling station. Walker described him as rather the worse for wear and in great distress, urging an acquaintance, Joseph E. Snodgrass, to come quickly. Snodgrass, a magazine editor and Poe's acquaintance, arrived to find a sight that haunted him for years. Poe was described as repulsive, with unkempt hair, a haggard, unwashed face, and eyes that were lusterless and vacant. His clothes were not only dirty, but didn't even fit him, a dirty shirt, no vest, unpolished shoes, and an old straw hat. This was highly uncharacteristic of Poe, who was known for his fastidious appearance. He was barely conscious, unable to explain how he came to be in such a wretched state. Taken to Washington College Hospital, Poe remained delirious. Dr. John Joseph Morin, his attending physician, provided the most detailed accounts of Poe's last days, though his credibility has been questioned over time. Morin claimed Poe was agitated, hallucinating, and repeatedly called out the name Reynolds on the night before he died. Who was Reynolds? To this day, no one has definitively identified this mysterious figure Poe called out in his final delirium, adding another layer to the unsettling puzzle. Over the decades, countless theories have swirled around Poe's death. Was it the alcoholism that plagued him intermittently throughout his life? Some accounts, like Snodgrass, emphasized his beastly intoxication. Yet others, including Poe himself, insisted he hadn't been drinking. Modern medical experts have debated whether his symptoms truly align with alcohol withdrawal. It's a contentious point, often amplified by his rival, Rufus Wilmot Griswold, who, as Poe's literary executor, painted a posthumous picture of him as a depraved, drug-addled madman, a portrayal many of Poe's friends vehemently denied, but one that sadly stuck for generations. Beyond alcohol, other medical theories have been put forth. Cholera, which was prevalent at the time, and which Poe himself believed he had suffered from enrichment. Rabies, suggested by his delirium and aversion to water, hypoglycemia, syphilis, tuberculosis, the disease that claimed his beloved wife, Virginia, influenza, or even a brain tumor. Each theory has its proponents and its flaws, none fully explaining all the bizarre circumstances of his final days. But one theory stands out for its sinister implications and its direct connection to the very day Poe was found. This is the theory of Cooping. In 19th century America, especially in cities like Baltimore, known for their rough and tumble political scene, Cooping gangs were a grim reality of Election Day. These gangs would kidnap unsuspecting citizens, hold them in a secret chamber or cellar, a coop, and ply them with alcohol, often beating them into submission. The objective: to force them to vote repeatedly for a particular candidate. To avoid detection, their clothing would be altered, and sometimes even their hair or facial features would be disguised, allowing them to vote multiple times at different polling stations. Consider the evidence. Poe was found on Election Day. He was dressed in clothes that were not his own, disheveled and ill-fitting. He was delirious and disoriented, classic symptoms of someone who had been drugged or severely intoxicated, possibly by force. The very location where he was found, Ryan's Tavern, was a polling station. It paints a chilling picture of a vulnerable man, perhaps recognized as a prominent figure, being targeted by these ruthless gangs. Imagine the terror, waking up in a strange room, surrounded by strangers, forced to drink, then paraded from one polling booth to another, your identity stripped away. This theory gains traction because it explains elements other theories struggle with: the change of clothes, the exact timing, and the severe delirium that didn't necessarily align with typical alcoholism. It suggests a far more sinister plot than a mere accidental collapse from drink or disease. It transforms Poe from a victim of his own demons into a casualty of a brutal, forgotten aspect of American political history. It's a narrative worthy of one of his own Gothic tales, filled with dark deeds and hidden motives, and a desperate struggle for survival. While Cooping remains a theory, unproven like all the rest, it offers a compelling and truly disturbing explanation for Poe's final days. The lack of a definitive answer ensures that the mystery of Edgar Allan Poe's death will endure, just like his timeless works. Was it an illness, the bottle, or something far more nefarious that stole him from the world? Perhaps the master of the macabre ultimately became a character in his own most unsettling, unsolved mystery. The shadows of that Baltimore election day still linger, whispering questions into the night. What do you believe happened to Edgar Allan Poe? Share your theories in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more chilling tales and unsolved historical enigmas.